After the twin scandals of MF Global and Peregrine Financial rocked the futures industry in 2011 and 2012, the National Futures Association underwent a review not only of its internal procedures, but also of its rules. In part one of this two-part John Lothian News exclusive, NFA CEO Dan Roth points to a study conducted by the Berkeley Research Group of NFA's audit procedures, and he reviews the changes made to the way the agency audits, hires employees, and delivers its message to NFA members.
We've made a number of changes, and in no particular order. Number one, the Berkeley Research Group actually found that our training was pretty good. They liked our training, but we felt internally that we could do a better job there and adopt a more systematic approach, where not only would we embellish the training, but number two, we would do a better job of keeping track of which of our examiners have had which training segments and which ones they needed to take, so that we could keep better track for each person that sits here to make sure that they've received exactly the training they need. We made sure a more systematized basis of drawing in outside speakers, people from the industry, to come in and talk to our examiners. We've always done that, but we were never particularly disciplined about it, where we'd make sure that we need X number of speakers per year. Let's make sure that we're maintaining that schedule. The third thing that we did as a result of Berkeley's was we made sure that every examiner at NFA, whether on the futures side or the swap side, that every single one of them will go through the certification process for certified fraud examiners. That's an extensive training and experience proposition and testing proposition, and all of our people, after they've been here 1 year, have to have and maintain that certification from the certified fraud examiners. And finally, we changed our recruiting in that we've made a more concentrated effort to recruit more experienced people from the outside so that we have a better balance of experienced and people out of school. Now what we've done is, at the manager level and above, we have specialized units to handle FCM exams and CPO CTA exams, so that there's a special group of managers that focus exclusively 100% on FCM examinations. So we built up our expertise and specialization in that area. So those are some of the changes that we've made as a result of the Berkeley Research Group, and I think they've all helped make us a better regulator. Our board worked really hard, really hard in the wake of MF Global and Peregrine, and our public directors in particular, formed a special committee to oversee the entire BRG process and our implementation of the BRG recommendations. The board really worked hard, and certain board members had very specific suggestions and inputs. And I mentioned earlier the certified fraud examiner training, and Doug Bree was certainly a huge proponent of that. And we'd had certified fraud examiner training as part of our process before, but Doug really pushed us to really improve that process and expand it, and that was very helpful input. We've done, I think, 6 different town hall meetings all across the country this year with our members, and we make sure that one of our public directors is there so that members are invited not only to ask questions of staff about regulatory issues, but if any member has an issue that they want to talk about NFA or the staff, the public director is there to hear that and to listen to that. So it's been a very helpful process. At the same time, we're a self-regulatory body. We're not a government agency. We don't want to be a government agency. We're a private corporation. Our board meetings, you want to foster a really rich dialogue at those board meetings. And if every board meeting is open to the public and everything that's ever said in that deliberative process is made available to the public, you can have a chilling effect on that deliberative process. So you try to, it's again a balance. You try to achieve as much transparency as you can while respecting the confidentiality of the deliberative process, which is critical to the board. And we just started at our last board meeting having Chris Haymeyer and myself sit down and have a very brief summary of what happened at the board meeting and then post that to the website. The other thing we're going to do is that we're going to have a long-range planning meeting with our executive committee and board in July. And one of the things you try to do at that meeting is try to anticipate how the world might change in the next 2 to 3 years and how those changes could impact NFA. How might our responsibilities expand? How might our responsibilities contract? And how will we deal with each of those eventualities? So it's an ongoing process. It's never dull.